Oh boy, what a story, what a case, what a trial we have for you today. It's one of those cases that only comes out of Vegas. It only comes out of Vegas. So the headline that we have: adult star married stepson, and all right out of the bat, people are saying, "Well, who cares? That's not illegal. Report on something worth reporting," says Justin Manning. Well, that's half of the story. That's the setup. So the other half of the story didn't fit in the headline, which is that this adult star who married her stepson is accused of red rumming her ex, the father of the stepson, and they have not found his head. Okay. So I couldn't fit all of that in the headline, but this is a story unlike any that you would get anywhere else in the country other than Vegas. I am Vinny Politan. Welcome to the Tangent True Crime Podcast. I am the lead anchor for Court TV. And with us, of course, Albert H. Wunsch III, Esquire.
Hola, Tangentistas. Welcome to November. And this wonderful first story, which I have to say was absolutely, you know what, Vin? I thought it was like a clickbait thing. So you had an adult star marries stepson. So all the research I did is for naught. Because that's the theme in about 75% of the movies that I see on most occasions.
Also with us, the radio legend, the one and only Jonesy.
Greetings from Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Yes. Welcome, everyone. This is the Tangent Podcast.
It's Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Vinny has the blue eyes, Al cracks the jokes. Jonesy stays behind his shades, entertaining all the folks. It's Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast. Load up all your comments, hit those super chats. Let's go smash that like button, so we can all have a blast. Vinny, Al, and Jonesy on the job. They're the Sugar Hill Gang of true crime. They're telling stories of days gone by. They take crime and turn into a good old time. It's Vinny and the Tangents, True Crime Podcast.
Here we go. It's a Friday, the Friday theme. Great to have everyone aboard. We have this trial happening on Court TV this week. And, the more you dig into the layers, the more insane it gets. What's interesting, so she's her name, she has three names. Google at your own risk.
Oh.
Devin Michaels is one name. Tracy
Al's on it.
Is that with a D?
Yeah, Devin with a D.
Okay.
Devin Michaels. Nikki Morganchild.
Oh, is that Nikki?
Double K. Yep. And Tracy Tavares.
From the rock group Tavares?
No, not exactly.
Oh,
Not exactly. So she has three names. You Google all three, you'll get a mishmash of things. But she cut her teeth in the adult corn industry. She's in the corn industry.
That's very phallic.
so she shucks.
Yeah, and she's made a name for herself, or three names for herself, apparently. And she lived in Vegas, and she met a man, John Willett. I guess they loved each other at some point because they decided to start a family together with children, two young girls. They are now tweens, which would be older than a toddler, but not quite a teenager, kind of that tween age. And while she was with this man, John Willett, John had a prior relationship and had a son from that prior relationship. What's his name here? Deviere?
Yeah, it's like Deviere. So it's
Deviere.
Yeah.
And Deviere was a little bit older, but he was, I don't know, probably like 19 or so. at one point, and apparently Devin and Deviere started seeing each other in a biblical sense. Thank you, Jonesy. In a biblical sense, while she was still seeing his father. And then eventually she broke things off with the father, but they had children together. And then she went and married the son. She never married the father, but started a family with him. And then, so, I mean, I don't know, what are the rules there for common law? Like husband and wife?
I don't know off the top of my head because New Jersey doesn't have common law.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't recognize common law marriage. But I mean, I believe that because I know New York does, that if you hold yourself out as a couple, you have children, you live in the same household, insurance policies, things along those lines, you can, that considered to be a common law marriage.
Okay. So I think they sort of held themselves out that way as a family, right? Mom, dad, the kids, you're raising the kids together. You're not formally married, although it's so easy to get married in Vegas. Why wouldn't you just run down to the Elvis Chapel, Jonesy?
Yeah, I know people who have actually been married by Elvis in Vegas. And, they tell me stories about how, like on New Year's Eve, for example, there'll be lines going around the block. So Elvis has to like be a little faster than usual. Very popular thing to do out there. I love Elvis. I love kitschy stuff like that. But when you're getting married, should you really make like a clown show of it?
Well, you didn't make it to my wedding, Jonesy. I think it just has to fit your personality. That's all. Like, it can be a little bit of a clown show. It can, I think it can run the gamut. So they never got married, but they sort of held themselves out. So he was basically a stepson, and they spent time together. And let me show you a little, like, here are some images of, that's the stepson / the husband. He's now married to her. So he got to marry the mother of his dad's children. So you start doing the different scenarios here, and that's her with the dad, and there's the son. So there you see the three of them together.
So it's like a country song.
Yeah.
I'm my own grandpa. It comes down to by the end of this.
That's a good
position.
I'm my own grandpa. Her daughters, because the tweens are daughters. Her daughters are also her sister-in-laws.
Yes, and her baby daddy is her father-in-law.
Her father-in-law. Yes. Yeah. It's a country song. It's very complicated, and so the allegation now is that the dad of the children, all right, we'll call him the dad, okay? Her ex is the dad. For the good of the kids, wanted to move back in with her, but she's married to his son.
Well, let me figure this out. Then.
Wait. He wanted to move in?
Diagram this. Okay. I had a diagram so far.
Jones, are you following this?
I am. I'm following it now because so the dad wants to move back with the ex-girlfriend because I don't think that they were married.
Baby mama, we'll call her.
All right, so the dad wants to move back with the baby mama who's now married to his son, which was her stepson. And yes.
And he wanted to do it for their children.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, there is actually an adult film channel dedicated to this type of relationship. So it's kind of wonderful.
Well, isn't that a common scenario, Al, in your research, that like, the stepmom kind of seduces stepson?
Yes. And it's always for the best of reasons.
Which is?
Well, because like the kid can't get a date, or he's not really, he's
Oh,
not satisfying his girlfriend, or he's not, he's not popular. So stepmom wants to help him out and get him the gift of being able to please a member of the opposite sex.
Yeah. So everyone's watching now and wondering, is this a break from true crime? This isn't a break from true crime, because now we get to the story. So as he is attempting to move in, the dad, the defendant's ex, is found headless in his bedroom by his mother.
Oh.
So he's no longer alive. He's unalived and headless, found by his mother, who would be her
Mother-in-law,
which would be the grandmother of her husband.
Yes.
Her new husband's grandmother found her ex, her husband's father, headless in his bed.
so it's kind of like the Bobbitt case, except she took the wrong head, allegedly.
Potentially, yes. Potentially. Now they have not. The head has not been recovered.
Yeah.
It's not been found. So she's been charged with the red rum of the man you're looking at right now, the father of her two children. But at trial now, she is pointing the finger at this man, her current husband, the victim's son.
Smart move.
Who wants a divorce.
So whoever absconded with the head, perhaps they did it so he could save face.
Maybe, but she's pointing the finger at him. She's in the middle of the love triangle. He testified, and his phone, if you look at where the phones are, which is what the prosecution is doing to try to identify where everyone is, his phone is never there.
Right.
But the defense is saying, of course it's not. He left his phone there because that's his alibi. And they're saying it's a phony alibi.
Phony.
The scary part about this is that if you recall our last show, the
Halloween show?
Was it the Halloween show?
Yes.
It was. I'm talking about this. Oh no, it was the Perfect Neighbor show. Okay, our Perfect Neighbor show. I told the story about this individual, Mr. John North, who lived 2 doors down from my friend's house,
right.
And that whenever the ball would go into his yard, he would wait with a power hose, and he would hit you with the power hose, and then he was subsequently then arrested for the red rum of his wife, whose body was found headless in upstate New York. Years later, they found the head when I was prosecutor in Englewood Cliffs, and we tried to match it by DNA, and it didn't. And then he went to trial. And the trial was almost exactly like this, in the sense that he argued that she was having an affair with a substitute teacher at Fort Lee High School, where she was a teacher. And he wanted to break up with her, and she wanted him to take her away. And so we call in the business the plan B was to put it on him, and the jury bought that and acquitted the husband. And then he had been in jail all that time. He was finally released from jail after he was acquitted, and then he died of a heart attack on the anniversary of her alleged date of red rum. So amazing story, but it's very, very similar in the fact that the head was missing and everything else. They didn't find the head. They did not find the weapon. And then that's another story. But so I was like very much interested in this thing, because that's almost exactly what happened in Englewood Cliffs back in the 70s when I was a child.
So they have made this now, because it's in Vegas. It's already part of a Vegas show. The story. And
what's it called?
Right.
I got nobody.
No, it's not Nobody. It's called No Housewife. You guys want to take a look at a preview?
Sure.
Sure.
said you married your stepson, and they all thought you'd done it, but they just didn't know you like I do. I can't make you no housewife. I won't make you no housewife. I can't make you no housewife. I won't make you no housewife.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I didn't know the Rat Pack was still alive. I mean, that's
Yes.
incredible. I didn't know
Yeah.
Sinatra was still headlining in Las Vegas.
At the dunes. Jones, have you been to the dunes recently?
No, I've never been to Vegas actually.
What?
Whoa, 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 whoa. Jonesy's never been to Vegas?
No.
All right, now we got to go to CrimeCon again.
We're going to CrimeCon. We'll
We
be
got to
there.
go to CrimeCon again. It's in Vegas. Wait,
Yeah.
Jonesy's never been. He's been in Atlantic City a billion times, but never Vegas.
Well, Atlantic City is near me, and yeah,
But
I
you
mean,
haven't been to Vegas?
so I've had a desire to go to Vegas, and you know, everybody at Court TV got sent to Vegas back in the day for the NAB conventions,
All right.
except
All right, we're gonna
Jones.
do a Jonesy Vegas GoFundMe, and we're getting Jonesy to Vegas.
We'll make sure to include enough to lose at the tables.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow, I had no idea you hadn't been to Vegas.
You know, with my likes and my fascination with certain things in like pop culture and stuff like that, it is kind of like amazing that I've never been to Vegas. But by the same token, I'd rather go to the old Vegas, and you know that's not there anymore.
No,
right?
no. They still have the old downtown.
Yeah,
Maybe we could put you in one of those hotels down there.
I've heard good stories.
Yeah, because there's the Strip, and then there's I forget what they call it now, but there's like the older part of Vegas. I guess they just knocked down one of the hotels there, one of the legendary hotels.
Do you know how much material I could get out of it if you guys, if we went to Vegas and you guys stayed in like one of the fancy places and put me up on the Strip?
Oh no, the Strip is the nice part. We'll put you down in Old Vegas.
Oh, it's a nice part.
It's something street. I forgot what they call it. I should know this. I know it. Okay, but anyway, Fremont Street. Thank you so much, Chris. We put you down on Fremont Street. It's amazing. And they had, and that's where I stayed when I covered a trial out in Vegas, because it's right next to the courthouse. And we stayed in the hotel that they just knocked down.
The Bates Motel?
No. It was one of the original casinos there. And David Brenner was headlining when I was there.
He was playing the old Vegas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the trial. And one of the
Yeah.
trials we covered on Court TV involved one of the old casino guys, Binion, who has the famous steakhouse, Binion Steakhouse. So, oh no, it will be amazing. They have a mob museum out there. It's Jonesy's got to go.
I think it speaks volumes about the old neighborhood, the fact that the courthouse is located there.
They
Yeah.
got a punk rock museum out there too.
Unbelievable. All right. So, by the way, you know what's interesting? The defendant in this case, Devin Michaels, aka Nikki Morganchild, aka Tracy Tavares, did have a second career.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, she had a second act.
Well, she had a third name. She
Yeah.
had three names and two careers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, besides being like a mom and a stepmom.
Okay.
Before we do that, do you guys want to? I was able to find one of her videos. I think I can show it on YouTube.
Okay.
I think I can play. Do you want to see the video?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Then
So
you
this-
know me. I'm always inquisitive.
So here she's under the name of Devin Michaels.
Okay.
Okay. All right, folks at home, if there's kids, by the this may not. All right, I'm going to play a video. Devin Michaels. I got it off the World Wide Web. All right. I'm going to play it. I've given you a warning.
Okay.
Okay. You ready? Here we go.
It's me, Devin Michaels. We are on our final hour of our open house over here at 9179 Smuggler's Beach Court. It is right off of Blue Diamond in El Capitan. Come say hi.
Aha. You know, I Googled her name and, you know, I clicked on images just to see what she looked like. And
Out of curiosity.
yeah, and nothing came up from the her old career, but a realtor did come up with the same name. I guess that's her, huh?
That's her. Yeah, she became a realtor. You know, and realty is a very, for a lot of people, it's a second act.
Yeah, absolutely.
It can be quite lucrative out in Las Vegas. So a lot of
Oh, it
people
can be
do
very
that.
lucrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, for people in like local news, a lot of them will do it sometimes on the side, but sometimes as a second act. Because what they try to do is take, they're, first of all, they're outgoing, right? So they're there, they'll put themselves out there, but they also try to capitalize upon the trust that they've built through the years in local news. And then we'll sell you a house.
Right. It's like ex-athletes who become like car salesmen.
Right. Like John Elway has made a lot of money out in Denver selling cars.
Yes.
So yeah, very, very lucrative. So
well, my first question for her is, will you please show me the bedroom?
Yeah. Let's take one more look at her. And we can make fun of people who are in the corn industry, but they are performers, they are actors, and they are very natural. And I think she's very good in this video.
Hey everyone, it's me, Devin Michaels. We are on our final hour of our open house over here at 9179 Smuggler's Beach Court. It is right off of Blue Diamond in El Capitan. Come say hi.
Come say hi.
Hi.
Now, do you think anyone who came by to say hi knew about her?
Well, if she's using a different name, if she wanted to capitalize on that, she could perhaps use her other name or promote herself that way. But the problem there might be that you won't get a lot of serious buyers, just people who want to check you out.
Yeah. What's interesting is her husband / stepson calls her Nikki.
Okay, so he's not really much into the
real
estate career,
right? So I guess he didn't want to be married to a realtor. You can't brag to your friends that I married a realtor.
Is that a bragging point that you're married to a adult film star?
All right. Well, look at him. Does he look like he's happy?
She looks happier.
All right. Well, she's got a nice smile. Some people don't have great smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So how about in this one? Does he look happy?
Yeah.
Now, is there a moral to this story?
Oh, there's a lot of morals to the story.
And there's a lot of immorals to this story. Well, I mean, look, the fascinating part about this story was that she had worked out a deal ahead of time and then crashed and burned at the sentencing after she had just apologized to the family and then turned around and said, listen, I can't do this. I'm innocent. I can prove I'm innocent. And then they, withdrew the plea. So she had a 15-year
deal
arrangement.
She's facing life now. She's facing a potential life.
She would have been out on time to make senior adult films.
But all right, so let's look at the factual aspects of this. For the purposes of what happened here, I mean, the decapitation in and of itself, that's not an easy thing to do. And the fact that they didn't find like enough blood splatter or anything at the scene, means that the body probably had to have been moved in order to perform the decapitation. And I mean, so can she do that by herself? There's some very valid questions on that. And then, of course, the head's not found. They're alleging that she took it with her back to where she lived and put it in the trash somewhere, and that they've never been able to find it, which is also kind of odd because I know, like garbage is always disposed upon in grids. And you see things, they find stuff in garbage dumps that are the most remarkably small things, but they know where to look. So they can't find that. They can't find the weapon that was utilized. I mean, she admitted that she hit him in the head because he wanted, meaning the dad, as we're calling him, hit dad in the head because he wanted some form of an act on him, and she refused to do it, and she did that hoping he'd go to the hospital, and then worked out a plea, 15 years, which was actually a pretty good deal under the circumstances. And then gets there and has a atomic breakdown, where she's crying hysterically and basically saying, listen, I didn't do this. I'm innocent. And now they're going to go with the plan B and go after the stepson and the husband / stepson who hated his father. This is going to be a very interesting verdict on this, a very interesting trial on this. Because the stepson was obviously going to always be a potential suspect, but he was basically pretty quickly, early on, just basically thrown to the side, saying, "No, we got nothing on him. We didn't find any cell tower, this, that, the other thing. There's no cameras in the area that saw anything." And they're arguing that he's he worked for like some form of a security firm, and that he would be able to figure out how to get around any type of devices in the household or even in the neighborhood. It's fascinating. It's as fascinating as the case from Englewood Cliffs, where they put it on the substitute teacher.
Oh, this is more fascinating than Englewood Cliffs. Come on,
Vin.
Do you have a love triangle?
It is a love triangle. Well, there was a love triangle in Englewood Cliffs.
It's
not his
stepson. This is next level.
First of all, Mrs. North was a high school teacher, not a adult film star. So I guess it's not as maybe it's not as spectacular as what you're used to, Mr. Politan. Okay, yeah. But you know what?
Well, let me tell you, if we're in the editorial meeting and I'm pitching this trial, Jonesy, and Al is pitching the substitute teacher, which one are you going with, Jonesy?
And remember. Wait, before you answer, and remember that I had been hit by this guy and a power hose on numerous occasions.
I do remember that vividly, actually, as you painted the word picture, but I'm still going with the adult star, dirty movies. I mean, come on. I'll get a deal with Cinemax.
Well, I don't think her films are on Cinemax.
Cinemax After Dark.
I don't think her films are on Cinemax After Dark either, but that's just me. Okay, so I want the more wholesome story. I'm sorry, America. I am more wholesome, and that's the story I want.
I'm gonna try to find that scene from the courtroom. I'm trying to track it down. Just give me a second.
Yeah, that scene in the courtroom was unbelievable. I mean, she just, and now once again, and I know we've had this question come up numerous times. She is an actress. I mean, you can say it's in a different type. She's not doing Hamlet, but nonetheless, she is an actress, so she knows how to emote. And boy, did she emote.
Maybe the dingo stole his head.
But it is, I know we're making jokes, and this is not a joking situation for this poor family whose mother found the headless body of her son in a household, smoking because she had, whoever there's claiming she did, poured chemicals on the body to try to, eradicate it, and maybe take off any type of fingerprints or anything along those lines that would be on the body.
Right.
It's a horrific crime.
I don't understand how she believed she could get away with it. Like that. That's the part. And here's the allegation by prosecutors, and it's based upon her own statements, is that she's over his house apparently and says, "Here, I'll give you a massage." So at that point, I'm wondering what is the nature of the relationship at that point? Like, this is your ex, but it's the father of your children, but you married his son, and now he thinks that you're going to give him a massage. Like, it's really strange. You've had this, like a bit of a custody battle, so to speak. But okay, give me a massage. And they're claiming when he lies down or does whatever he does, preparing to get a massage, she bludgeons him, and then somehow, some way, we still don't know, is able to decapitate. And there's not an extraordinary amount of blood in everything. Now,
And yeah, the dad, is a fairly big guy. I mean, that's why I mean that in and of itself. Put a picture of her next to him and say, how is she moving this body? How's she doing this? How's she going to be able to orchestrate any of this stuff? That obvious that the head was not removed there at the scene, because there would be spatter everywhere. They don't find any of the weapons. They don't find the saw or whatever I'm assuming it had to have been a saw to use to do that. And here's this, waif, that she's going to be able to. I mean, look at the two of them are together right there. There's a big difference on the size of dad and of hubby, okay, and then her right in the middle. She's lugging that body, and no one's noticing that that's happening, coming out of her household. I think this is going to be a very interesting verdict. I think that the state is going to have some problems with regards to this case. Now, also,
does she have to testify? Do you think she has to testify in this case?
Absolutely. I think she absolutely has to testify. But I'm going to see. Actually, I'm going to hold on that. I think she has to testify depending on how hubby's testimony goes, because he's on the witness list for the state. So if he's on the witness list and how he goes, so goes.
The hubby testified.
Well, so I didn't see his testimony, so I have to apologize on that. I didn't see his testimony, so it would be based on what they got from him, and that would make the decision as to whether or not she has to get on the stand. But she's got nothing to lose getting on the stand, and I think if she gets up there and just says, "Look at these two, how was I moving this body?" And who's going to say, "Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me"? Of course, I think there'll be some doubt.
Some doubt or reasonable doubt. Here, let me show you. I want to show you this. I find this interesting. I've got a little video to show you here. To again get inside the family dynamics of what was happening, because now the father knew obviously that his son was with his ex. The father knew, like they texted about it. He said, "I don't know what you're doing, but it's kind of wrong." Now they originally had the cover story that they were doing it for insurance purposes, right?
Because she has medical issues.
Yeah, but I'm not buying that, because they were like living like a family. I want to show you an image. Let me find this real quick.
The one with him and her and the two kids.
Yeah.
But all right, so
look at these images. Look at these images. Like they're taking Christmas pictures. Those are the girls. They're together.
Right.
And they're raising his sisters.
Yeah, stepsisters.
No, half sisters.
Half sisters. Correct. I'm sorry.
Half sisters. Like that's a family photo. By the way, I didn't know she was blonde. I don't know why she dyes her hair dark. If she has that beautiful natural blonde hair, why does she dye her roots dark? Why would you do that?
It's a look.
Well, all right.
That's a family photo. These are family photos.
It is a family photo. And this is what, the defense's argument has been, okay, is that, look, this was a guy who had a family, who loved this family, who loved being part of this family. They weren't, the argument was that he's looking for a divorce or whatever the situation was. And then defense counsel showing pictures of intimacy between the two of them and texts going back and forth.
Yeah.
And that was far from, that they were estranged. There was nothing but the fact that these two had a connection, and he wanted to keep that connection. And that's what's going to be the power of doubt issue.
So
when
if you look at this scenario, right? So she did not have custody of the girls, with the blue dots, right?
Right.
She didn't have custody, but their father, who's not in this picture, who is also the father of her husband, was going to move in. So he would be the one and bring the girls, because he thought it would be better for the girls to be raised in a household where their mother is married to their brother, and
It's like the scene in Chinatown. She's my mother. She's my sister. She's my mother. She's my sister. She's my mother. She's my sister. Like it's very similar to that. If those of you who remember the great film Chinatown.
Yeah, I do not remember it because I never saw it. I don't like movies with subtitles.
Chinatown doesn't have subtitles.
Oh, it was in English.
Yes.
Jack Nicholson. It's what's
Maybe I'll watch it.
Roman Polanski film with Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway.
One of the classics.
Anything with Faye Dunaway in it is worth watching.
Faye Dunaway was in it, that's for sure.
Same for Jack Nicholson.
And Micah says that her roots grew out.
But
so
yeah.
Micah is saying that her hair is not naturally platinum.
What?
That her hair is actually is dark, and she dyes the outside of her hair, not the roots.
Only your Undertaker truly knows.
That makes more sense. Thank you, Micah. I guess everybody was taking me seriously when I said that she dyed her roots dark.
Well, my response was going to be, why did you start dyeing your hair gray?
Exactly. Well, that's what I started to do.
Right.
Yeah, I cover it up because my dark roots are my dark roots are showing.
So I'm breaking out the Just for Men tonight.
You know, Vin and Jonesy. I think Jonesy's doing it, but it's No Shave November. Okay, are we participate? I mean, I participate in No Shave November every year, but I just don't shave my legs. But
well,
because I can't grow a beard no matter how hard I try, and if I have anything on it, it looks like peach fuzz, and people just go, "What the hell's wrong with your face?" So I can't do that, but I can not shave my legs and let that grow. So it works out.
I never understood things like No Shave November. I also don't understand things like gentlemen who have to shave for work every day, like news anchors or attorneys. When they're off for 2 weeks, they just let it go. And I never really understood that because, there's nothing like a clean, crisp shaven face.
Says the man with the beard.
Yeah, the man with the beard.
Yeah, but I shave around it.
So Alba is saying that it's a wig. Do we think that's a wig, or is she dyeing her hair?
No, I think she's dyeing her hair. I don't.
Yeah, I've never been good at picking
But
out
a wig is very common in the adult film industry.
In the corn industry.
Yes, it is very common.
What's the last dirty movie you saw, Al? Come on, be honest.
I don't really pay attention to titles. That's being honest. I'll be, I'm going to look at it that way.
Okay.
We thought it would be one of those good puns. Patricia Coleman. But when the father was preparing to move in with the baby mama, did he know she had married his son? Yes.
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 Yep.
He knew it. And it's so what is the dad, the victim now? What do you think he was thinking in wanting to move in with his son who married the mother of his children?
Well, first of all, now she had a conviction for child abuse, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And
that's why she couldn't have sole custody.
That's why she couldn't have sole custody. Now,
Right.
The dad is thinking to the dad is thinking to himself, "Look, I don't want to deny my kids their mother, and that the dynamic is better if we're together, so that we can experience things together and, give these kids a little more fulfilling life with regards to, a family situation. And so, I mean, I can see it coming from that, as much as he would resent what his
Right.
own son did to him.
Okay.
I
dis-
just
I
out for the
disagree.
interest of his children.
I disagree. Anytime an ex, especially a male, has some sort of play, some sort of move with the ex, it is usually a ploy to try to get back together, to try to, like, I'll move in there and she'll learn to love me again, kind of thing. I think that's the way a lot of men think in failed relationships. At least I saw that in my younger days, anyway.
But in this case, the kids could not be living with mom. Now with him there, the kids can live with mom.
Right, but you're looking at it as it's like a good positive reason. I'm looking at the dark underbelly.
All right. Tell me this. What would it be like inside that household? Now, I don't believe that, like, she may have had a nice career and she may have been selling some houses in Vegas, but I do not believe they lived in a mansion, nor did they live in a McMansion. Right?
A yacht.
They had a nice house. But
That's the first thing I thought of: mansion and yacht.
Yes.
right.
How much
I'd be a happy miser.
I own a mansion and own a yacht.
What would it be like inside that home? Let's just say it's a Saturday night around midnight, and dad's having a little trouble sleeping, and he's kind of just, and in the other room he hears that his ex and his son are not sleeping either, and they're actually enjoying themselves. Like, how would he handle that? You know what I mean? Like,
Turn up the volume on the Cinemax After Dark program that he's watching.
Honey, I'm home.
yeah, like, there's no way that's just so uncomfortable.
Minus the beheading, there was a similar situation involving one of the Rolling Stones with a woman. I believe it may have been Bill Wyman. Al may know better.
It was
Where the kid ended up marrying Bill Wyman's like wife or girl, and Bill Wyman ended up going off with her kid. It was kind of like a swap.
Yeah.
Here's a great comment that we have to address right here.
Uh-oh.
It's Al. Give the history of the Whig Party.
Civil War to civil rights and all the revolution fights. World War I and World War II. Al always knows who is who. It's this day in history. This day in history. History. Now let's listen to his story.
Well, before I get to the Whig Party, I'm going to do this pesky stuff that I prepared for today. We'll go with true crime. Today is November 7th, okay? And in true crime, 1968, the trial of Ed Gein commences, okay? Now, Ed Gein actually had been arrested.
There's a new docuseries on him.
Yes, there was. There was a Netflix, I believe it was a Netflix thing, but docudrama,
watching it,
which had a lot of false information. Unfortunately, I mean, it was very enjoyable. It was entertaining, but a lot of false information. But Ed Gein had actually been arrested 11 years before, but was initially deemed to not be sane. And so by 1968, it was decided that he could understand the charges that were ahead of him and that he could participate in his own defense. He was, but the defense smartly decided they didn't want to go with a jury trial. They went with a bench trial. The bench trial lasted for a week. He was found guilty of the Red Rum of Bernice Worden. And then there was a second hearing, and it was determined that he was not guilty by reason of insanity, and then he was committed to a sanitarium for the criminally insane for the rest of his life. 1989, Richard Ramirez was sentenced to the deep end for
Ooh.
the number of murders that he had, red rums that he had participated in. Now, the interesting thing is I did a little study, and November, okay, is the month which has the history of having the most serial red rummers of all time.
I mean,
Okay.
born or caught or what?
Born.
Okay.
I took a look at 100 serial red rummers from across the world, and 17 were born in November. The
That's
other
pretty
months, the most in another month would be 9, but 17 were born in November, and that
Does that
includes
make them New Year's babies?
that would make them New Year's babies, and that would include Charles Manson. That would also include Ted Bundy, Kristen Gilbert, and Charles Starkweather, and Carl Watts, all born in November. That were U.S. Serial red rummers. In the Revolutionary War on this date in 1775, Lord Dunner issued a proclamation declaring that the state of Virginia was in riot. He put martial law in, and he signed a proclamation that offered freedom to all of the enslaved people in Virginia who signed up and fought with the British Army, which absolutely turned everybody on their heads in Virginia, because now all of a sudden these slaves that they had been, keeping from freedom could now get their freedom guaranteed if they took up weapons and fought with the British.
Wow.
So it is a very, very, incredible thing. It sent shockwaves through the colonies.
You know, it's interesting, like with a proclamation, I could see Jonesy doing a proclamation, showing up with the scroll, unrolling it and proclaiming, right?
Actually, that would fit the graphic, the photograph of Albert very well.
He looks like he's about to proclaim something.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. That my shoes are too tight. 1917, the Bolshevik Revolution starts. Okay, so you have the situation in Russia where the
Peasants are revolting.
The peasants are, and they stink to high heaven, and you have the Russian government is completely destroyed. The Tsar is overthrown. They have to get out of World War I. And now what's interesting is it's actually called the October Revolution, but based on the modern Gregorian calendar, October 25th, which was the real date of the Bolshevik Revolution, is technically November 7th, as we okay, and this is all with Vladimir Lenin leading the revolt, which was a tremendously interesting revolution in world history. 1805, Lewis and Clark finally reached the Pacific. 1944, FDR is reelected for a historic 4th term.
That's too long. That's too long. 4 terms is too long. I'm sorry.
Well, he didn't last through the 4th term. 1962, Vinny's friend Richard Nixon loses election for the governor of California and comes with the statement, "You won't have Richard Nixon to kick around anymore." Okay? 6 years later, he was elected president.
Was actually a really good president, by the way.
And Nixon was actually, with the exception of the Watergate situation and some of the stuff with regards to.
Can I just say this? In light of everything else that's happening today, Watergate really not a big deal.
Well, it was a big deal,
Was.
only as to the cover up. If he had come clean on it and said, "Listen, some guys were involved with this, and they went a little haywire, and this, that, the other thing," I think everyone would have forgiven Nixon. because you know what? You're right. Nixon did some tremendously good things for this country.
Yeah.
I mean, and things that were considered like that they can't believe he actually did with regards to opening up, the arms talks with the Soviets, opening up trade talks with the Chinese, keeping us out of Northern Ireland, which was an incredible thing for him to do. Also, his price freezes to try to save off a very bad situation with the economy. The man did some tremendously good things. You can definitely agree with you on that. 1991, Magic Johnson announces that he is HIV positive.
I remember that day. You know where I was?
In the Lakers. Okay, please.
I was at the Rusty Scupper in West Orange.
West Orange,
There was a news conference on the TV. And we were like, we were shocked.
You know, it's interesting because I remember exactly where I was as well. I was working at a satellite broadcast facility, and my coworker, was a big fan of his, and started to explain to me, like, you don't understand how big this is. I mean, they'll never admit it, but they named a team after this guy. He was saying, which may not be true.
Orlando Magic. And he's, I mean, he is doing so well.
Yeah, it's incredible, right?
Yeah,
you had all those who went down so early to it, and then you had a guy with a lot of money who could deal with, like, medicines that may not be approved, can fly out of the country and take care of it, whatever the case may be. Good for him.
And was also a world-class athlete to begin with, right?
Yes, so that helps too.
Going as well. And remember the other play, no one wanted to play with him. There was this whole thing, and it was a big deal. I mean, we forget how scary that was.
Yeah.
It was horrible. That was a horrible time.
That whole time of, it was a time of fear where.
Yes, absolutely. And, at our age, we had
Jonesy was in his prime, folks.
I mean, the generation before us, they had free sex and all this kind of stuff, right?
Love, yeah.
And then here we are, and we're told, like, you're gonna die, kid.
Yeah. No, it was a horrific time. It was so sad to watch, just the fact. Yeah. And I, the government wasn't supporting getting, pharmaceutical companies to try to get the medicines necessary to try to get this going, which, when you come to COVID, all of a sudden the government was involved in trying to get these, different types of pharmaceuticals out there to try to stave off what was going on. If that had happened back when the AIDS thing came through, when that started, a lot of these people could have been saved, and they weren't.
I mean, the treatments were wrong. Whatever they were, like, they had an ability, but it just wasn't there. It was like they were looking for this magic potion, pun intended, when you didn't need the magic potion. Like Magic Johnson proved that everything was there already. It's just they didn't know what they were doing. Like, they literally did not know what they were doing, which is similar to what happened during this whole we're not going to say the words, but during this last thing that happened in 2020 and 2021, everything that you needed to treat people was there. It's just they didn't know how to do it. And, unfortunately, it costs people a lot of their lives. And there's only one common denominator in the two things, but I'm not going to say it.
Dallas Buyers Club is, I don't know how true it is,
Yes.
But it's a really great movie, but it is so damn depressing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the feel-good hit of the summer, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'll answer the question with regards to the Whig Party. Okay, the Whig Party was.
We got some Whig news.
This just in.
Okay, the Whig Party was originally set up to oppose Andrew Jackson. Henry Clay was one of the principal founders of the Whig Party. They had supported government. They wanted, investment in infrastructure, a national bank, things along those lines. By the 1850s, they had splintered off, and then the splinter group ended up becoming what was known as the Republican Party. And so that's what the Whig Party was, a political party that came out around the mid-19th century.
And why was there an H in it? Like, why? What's the H for?
I don't know how they came up with the name. to be honest with you. But that was what they were called, was the wig. I mean, yeah,
I can get it because everybody wore wigs back then, even the men.
Well, by this point, the 1850s, 1830s, 1840s, 1820s, the wig situation was not like it was, in the 1700s. But back then they had a lot of weird names for parties: the Know Nothing Party, the Wig Party, the Bull Moose Party. I mean, so you had a number of different odd names that would come through. I do not know how the name wig came up, but it was, as I said, Henry Clay was one of the founders of it, who was a very incredible statesman, made some incredibly great speeches. And so that's, and they are basically the stepdad of the Republican Party.
Sarah, thank you so much, Sarah. All in the Family reboot, adult star, Married Stepson.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Jonesy, you have a part.
Songs that made the hit parade.
Guys like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
Used to know who you were then.
Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like Herbert Hoover again. Didn't need no welfare states.
Hey, look who's lurking in the bushes, everybody.
Oh.
It is our man, the one, the only, Mick Spunky.
To get happy, it's time to get funky. It's time for us to smile, because here comes Mick Spunky.
Mick Spunky in the house.
We gonna get funky like a monkey with Mick Spunky.
Yes. Also with us, of course, our amazing Mod Squad.
Yay.
The Mod Squad, keeping order in the chat. The Mod Squad, spotting trolls who attack. Oh, Gen X is ready and on the scene. Frankie Biggs making sure they're keeping it clean. Jennifer Soubey telling haters don't be so mean. And Ashley Bouchard on top of our Facebook screen. We are the Mod Squad, cleaning up the mess. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad, simply the best. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad.
Thank you to our Mod Squad. And by the way, Gen X has posted a link to the full McSpunky theme song. By the way, I've got to get all the songs up. I'm going to put all the music sometime in the near future so you can access all the great tunes that you hear on the program.
Yes.
Really does make a great Christmas gift.
We
I was just thinking the greatest hits, right?
Yeah, the greatest hits. Maybe I won't post them. We'll sell CDs
That's what I was thinking.
out of the back of Jonesy's trunk. Jonesy, I'll send you like 100 CDs. You could drive around and sell them.
don't walk by, give it a try.
I'll do so, just like Jerry Vale.
You know who came by my college radio station selling stuff out of the back of his trunk?
Wait. Let me guess.
Remember, I went to Stanford.
Liberace.
No. I went to
I
Stanford
would
in the
like
Bay
to
Area.
tell you my CD.
The
I
people
just
from
can't
Timex
get
Social
the right
Club.
girl.
Timex Social Club. Good guess, Jonesy. 2 members of the social club were actually at Stanford, but no. One more guess.
Oh, by the way, but before I make that guess, just as another thing that we talked about a couple of shows ago, I got a call from Wonder Mike, and the show for Sugar Hill Gang has been postponed. So I'm just letting you know. So this way,
I hope everybody's okay.
I didn't get the.
Give my regards to Big Bank Hank.
I will certainly do that.
I saw them about, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, something like that.
You did.
Now,
yeah, they played Asbury Park.
So I digress, and I'm sorry I went off on a tangent. But what? So one more guess on your who showed up to put things in your to sell out of your trunk. Um, Rock Hudson.
No, no, no. It was Dennis Weaver from McLeod. No, it was MC Hammer.
Ooh, can't touch this.
Yes, it was just
Go
before
Hammer.
he blew.
Go Hammer.
Just before he blew up.
It's
He
Hammer
was selling
time.
stuff out of the back of his trunk.
And then he didn't need to do that ever again.
No.
So you saw him what at that school you went to up in Connecticut, right?
You know, not exactly. Ashley Bouchard, member of the Mod Squad, saying we need a team meeting about Tangent Fest. Yes, Tangent Fest 26.
Yes, we do. And also we had a team meeting without the Mod Squad though, talking about new merch. So that is coming through with regards to same also.
Oh, speaking of merch, I have one of the new items, which is
Steven, what a
allegedly
perfect segue, right? What a perfect segue.
The allegedly caps are now available, folks. All part of what you can find on the Vinny Originale True Crime merch shop.
And a hoodie, a beach towel and a mug. A new design from Vinny is better than a drug. True crime merch, you know he did it. True crime merch, mark the exhibit. True crime merch, we hate Casey. True crime merch from Vinny Originale. Our tangent stuff is great, unlike any others. Buy it now, don't wait. Perfect for all you mothers. True crime merch, allegedly. True crime merch, stepped on a bee. True crime merch, it's not free. True crime merch from Vinny Originale.
Important question from Julie Martino. Will Tangent Fest be after Crime Con? Crime Con's coming up, I think, in the spring, right?
Yeah, I think it's in May, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think it's in May.
So yeah, I think it would have to be after. It would have to be after. I'm
Well, let's
thinking
do it the same weekend.
I will say this: it is probably like to come up to New Jersey for Tangent Fest in the fall is just absolutely wonderful. So I think it should be a fall event for reasons that, first of all, with the foliage situation and everything going on, it's a great time around now, in this area. So I'm going to be pitching the fall on this. So, the summer gets very, very tough because with the Jersey Shore, it's a very, very difficult time in Jersey, traffic-wise and everything else. The fall is not as crazy here.
Yeah, but the nice thing about the summer is it does clear out a little bit up north over the weekend, so you have a little more access, perhaps. Yeah, I'm thinking summer or fall as well. That's probably what I'll be leaning towards. Maybe a way to celebrate Columbus Day. Maybe it works out that way. I don't know.
Oh.
I am going to Europe though in September, so we'll have to work around that.
Of course. Unless you want to bring us all to Europe with you.
Well, I mean, now all of a sudden, finding out that Jonesy's never been to Vegas completely changes my approach to Crime Con 26.
We could actually plan our Tangent Fest on the same weekend, just to show them they're not the only game in town. Baby. We'll compete with them.
Oh, so are you saying we combine the two?
No, he's saying do this instead of, because he doesn't want to take the trip to Vegas. That's what he's saying.
Are you afraid to fly?
Just get me a bus. No. I'm not afraid to go to Vegas. I just think it would be absurd for us to do that, and I'm all for absurdity.
Now, what are you now for Crime Con 26? I am thinking, because it's in Vegas, that we don't set up a table. We just go.
No. We gotta set up a table.
No, but then you're locked down to the table and you're in
We're not
Vegas,
locked down to
baby.
like we were locked down to the table. We
You're locked
weren't.
down to the table. I'm telling you, locked down to the table.
We were locked down to the
You
table.
guys were locked
yes.
down to the table.
We were.
Like I had to run
Because
around.
as soon as we were liberated from the table, there was no time for anything else, because then it was the evening. Then it was time for either dinner or one of the events, or for the television program you guys were doing.
Yeah. I think we roam. I think we roam around. Like
No, because I want to get an award. All right. I mean, I want, I want like our.
you want to win an
podcast,
award, then you got to take out a big ad in the program.
No, we're gonna get it without doing that. That's what that's the Jersey way. Okay.
We're not going to get an award. The people who won Creators of the Year have been doing it for like 10 years. They're
That's my point.
phenomenal.
I have never
It's
won
a
an award.
full-time
I won an
commitment for
award.
them.
Vin, this country started and beat the most powerful nation in the world in the 1700s. Okay. The most powerful army in the world, the most powerful navy in the world. And we kicked their ass. Okay, that's what we are. We're the little train that.
What if we wandered
we're
around?
The acorn. We're
we
the acorn that becomes the big tree.
But instead of being bogged down to a table, we could hold court wherever we are. We're in the lobby. We're in the couch. All of a sudden, there's people gathered around.
That makes us look like freaking vagabonds.
Like we're doing magic tricks.
That looks like vagabonds. We look like vagabonds. I always like, you know what? Like that's the. If you go to like some of these like autograph shows or whatever, and there's always like one guy who doesn't have a table that's got some like scintilla of fame, who's like standing next to the thing, just selling stuff without a table, and it's embarrassing. Okay, it's embarrassing. I do not want to.
Look, Sally's got a good idea. We make it like a documentary. We sneak up on people, we ambush people. We got the film crew following us the whole time. What do you think of that?
We have a film crew.
Yeah, we can have a film crew. Why can't we have a film crew? If I tell my son we're going to fly him to Vegas, you think he'll do it for us? Of course.
Yeah, and then he'll ditch us as soon as he gets there. I've met your sons. Believe me, I know exactly what's going to happen. He'll be like, "I got to go, Dad. I'll see you in a little bit," and then we'll see him at the airport flying out.
He loves Vegas.
I know. That's my point. He's going to ditch us and hang out with the young people and and do all the fun stuff that young people do at Vegas.
Ashley says Al can get an award at Tangent Con.
Well,
yeah, first runner-up, Tangent of the Year. First runner-up, Al. Cosgrove's reverse mortgage. I love that. That's amazing. The Jersey way would be to rig a contest. Let's be honest, guys.
Now, I may know a thing or two about rigging contests. Working
that wheel we spin around, we could kick it up a notch and have it'll be for money, but it'll cost you money to play it.
Then how did we get into that restaurant when like there was 14 of us and we didn't have a reservation? The old Vigaroo, okay, and all of a sudden we were next. Lunch party of 14. That's the way to do it. The Jersey way, very very smart.
Ali Oz says that she'll man the table.
All right, see, so we can have people man the table for us.
Oh, you say so? The cake you need. I just felt bad that you guys were really locked down.
But there were so many wonderful people coming over to us. It didn't feel like we were locked down. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It was like it really was so excellent meeting everybody and having a place where they could come and see us, take pictures.
But Jonesy's got to see Vegas.
Well,
we go at we go 2 days before it starts. Go 2 days before it's.
It would, if we're going to be in any kind of shape for you and I, Al. If we're going to be in any kind of shape for the actual convention, maybe we should stay 2 days after.
And we can do that too. We go 2 days before.
Yeah,
2 days
like Jonesy does 2 days in Vegas and then tries to man the table.
Well, it would be no problem for Al. The man's drinking Bloody Marys at the airport. and we had like a 6 a.m. flight. I mean,
the only way to start
breakfast food, right?
It kills the vitamin C. That's what
we get to the hotel. He goes straight to the bar after we held court at the lobby, and he asks me what I want, and I said, you know, it's early. I'm going to start later, and he's like looking at me like I'm half a man.
The
Right.
next Crime Con is in Vegas.
I had a margarita. You know,
The ne-
the only way to fly.
oh man. That
No,
is
you
nuts.
you know, like you're on vacation out there and stuff like that. We get there 2 days before, all right, and you know we stay and believe me, I got the sites we got to go to in Vegas, so you don't have to worry about that. Me and Mo Green will set this whole thing up, and Fredo will be there. So you know we'll have that. We'll have the band coming up to our room. We'll get one of those suites up in the Flamingo, and we'll be all set.
Which hotel? It's I think it's at Caesars.
Yes, it's
I think it's at
Caesars. That's right.
Caesars.
It's at-
Caesars.
it's
What-
a
what's at
beautiful,
Caesars?
beautiful hotel.
Crime
That's
Con's
right.
at Caesars. So
Oh.
it's centrally located. That's right in the middle, next to Bellagio.
We'll get the
Everything's right
suite.
there.
Mike, you don't talk to a man like Mo Green like that.
And I wonder who will be out there, if there'll be any good acts out there. Oh, here we go. Blue Bear. Yeah, it was the Tropicana. That's where I stayed. I stayed at the Tropicana. Thank you, Blue Bear Arts. It was the Tropicana that's recently been torn down in the old Vegas down on Fremont Street. Fremont Street is interesting. So it's like every night, and I think they still do it. Part of it is like sort of like covered. There's a lot of street performers there and stuff. But I don't know if it's every hour. There's like this crazy light show and loud music. So if you actually stay there and you try to go to sleep because you're working and covering a trial at 8 o'clock in the morning, like actually earlier because of the time difference, you have to be on the air 9 a.m. East Coast time. So you're getting up at 6:30, and all night long, Fremont Street, the lights are going off every hour with this big celebration. Hilarious.
It's named after John C. Fremont, who was known as the Pathfinder. That was his nickname. He was an explorer and a Civil War general.
Yeah, Fremont Street is fun because it's the old Vegas, and you have a Binion Steakhouse, and that was a big trial on Court TV. Jonesy, do you remember the Binion trial?
No, I don't recall actually.
Binion was the victim. He was like a casino guy.
Wasn't it Brian you went out there with?
I was out there for Margaret Rudin.
No, but wasn't it Brian Levitas?
Nope. No. I was there with Lori.
Okay.
But
and just going on the Whig Party again, John C. Fremont was the first Republican candidate for president after the disbanding of the Whig Party.
so he was a Whig.
He was part of that, but then he splintered off and was the first Republican candidate for president after the Whig Party was no more and the Republican Party had come into play.
Okay, Binion. So May is Crime Con. I think is it the holiday? It's just before the holiday weekend.
I think it's the weekend before Labor Day, Memorial Day, just as the last convention was the weekend after Labor Day.
Oh, so it's the weekend after.
The weekend
Memorial Day?
before Memorial Day, I believe, because Memorial Day is the final weekend of the.
It's the final. It's the last Monday.
Last
of
Monday,
May.
so generally it's the final.
Okay.
So we
Yeah,
go 2
because
days
I
before.
may have a basketball tournament earlier in the month.
Basketball tournament. You're
Yes.
playing in a basketball tournament.
Well, I'm gonna try.
Taking book on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Right.
try. I'm still rehabbing my knee, but if my knee is better in December, then I will attempt to get on a team. Oh wait, they're saying it's the 29th to 31st.
Okay.
So
that's
it's after.
That's
So
after
It's after Memorial Day.
Memorial
weekend.
Day.
My guess is, if you're doing the convention every year after a weekend like that, you probably get a good rate because it's probably a light travel, a light convention weekend coming off of a holiday weekend,
True.
right? That's my guess. So that works out. So yeah,
Also,
you guys.
If you have to
make a
take
whole
off
week of
from
it.
if you have to
You
take
actually
off,
do a week in Vegas. Like in Vegas, if you're in Vegas more than 3 days, it gets a little tiring.
not if you're with me. Trust me when I tell you, Vin. Okay, trust me when I tell you. we will trip the lights. Fantastic.
You know what's
I'll have all
well, this
shows
is
set up.
interesting. Valerie Jean Schaefer, we could go digging for Binion's money, because in the Binion trial, there was like all this money that was supposedly buried out in the desert. And I don't know if they ever recovered it.
Yeah.
The Binion trial happened just before I got to Court TV. And then I got to Court TV. I went out to Vegas for a trial in front of the same judge with a lot of the same characters involving the Black Widow, Margaret Rudin, who has recently been released from prison.
Oh, that was nice.
Wouldn't it be an amazing coincidence if you were out in the deserts near Vegas, say burying a head or something like that, if you came across that money? So now here you are with this head.
We got a screenplay, Jonesy.
Your life, and you have a fortune.
We've got a screenplay.
Oh, I've got 72 screenplays or treatments. I've got treatments.
Well, this is the treatment. This is great. The opening scene. They're taking the head out there, and then you dig up the treasure, Binion's money, and then what do? Oh, wow!
Well, it's like a Twilight Zone because here you have this money, but now you have this head that's going to like ruin your life.
I love this idea. I'm going to get to work on that.
Of our closest friends.
All right, Al, can you get us a meeting so me and Jonesy can pitch this?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Not a problem. I mean,
Al, can I send you my treatment, and you can have your friends from the old Hollywood from back in the days in New Jersey take a look at it?
Of course. The Maccas from Hollywood.
I do like,
but they're all from the silent film era. But nonetheless.
Oh, so, wait a minute! I have to do something. One second, ladies and gentlemen.
I can only imagine what this is going to be.
No. Allow me to tell you the premise of my treatment then. I'm leaving a nursing home, and this gentleman asks me where the elevator is. And he looks really cool. He has a pencil-thin mustache. He looks like he used to be an old movie star or something like that. And I'm getting off the elevator. It's a very sad moment because I was visiting my mom. And Lawrence Welk is playing on all the TVs from every room. It's based on a true story. And I look at the old guy after the nurse chastises him for asking me, when you get off the elevator, which way do you turn? The guy was planning an escape for real. So I, at the very last minute, grab his wheelchair, throw him in my 1989 Grand Marquis, and we go on an adventure together. That's the premise.
That's good. There was a story like that.
That was Harry and Tonto. Wasn't that sort of
it was a million different movies.
Yeah. There was one where a young couple took an older, I think he was a star years ago, and they took him on an adventure, kind of like that. I like it. I think it'd be fun.
Based on a true story. An old guy really did ask me that, and he had a pencil-thin mustache, and he was very handsome. He asked, which way do I turn when I get off the elevator to get out of here? He wanted to escape. And as I was approaching him, just before that, seeing my mom for one of the last times, every room was watching the Lawrence Welk show on a Sunday night on PBS, and it was closing. So from every room, the song "Good Night, Good Night," Al Wiedersehen, Good Night. That was how he would close his song. Very symbolic. Was playing. I decided, what if I had taken that man and we went on an adventure?
Was the patient Adolph Manjou?
The thing is, he probably wanted to go to Freehold Racetrack.
Well, it was in Kearney, so he probably wanted to go to the Meadowlands.
The Meadowlands, yes.
And we do end up at a racetrack. It's very involved.
I love it.
That is so nice. Oh.
The Tangent Christmas Extravaganza, mark your calendar, Sunday, December 21st, 7 to 10 p.m. It's going to be another amazing show. Rehearsals are going amazingly for the opening number. You're going to love the opening number, but you're also going to love the contests and the prizes that we'll be giving away all night long. All night long. We're going to put the Crime Con wheel back together. Ooh. We'll be spinning the wheel for prizes. There'll be some great trivia questions, musical numbers, special guests. It's a Christmas extravaganza, a special Sunday broadcast, Sunday, December 21st, 7 to 10 p.m. And 2 opportunities for you ahead of time to be a part of the show. Number 1, ugly sweater contest. Just send a photo, any ugly sweater. You can be wearing it. Your Uncle Saul could be wearing it.
Your dog could be wearing it.
Your dog could be wearing it. It could be old. It could be new. Just send a
Borrowed,
picture.
new.
And then
Your headless husband can be wearing it.
exactly. And the
A
big
turtleneck.
and the big finale will be the crowning of the Tangenista of the year. But in order to become the Tangenista of the year, you must be nominated by yourself or by someone else. And the nomination process is very simple. Just send a video, 60 seconds or less.
Yes.
And there's no requirements of the video. You whatever you want the video to be.
That's
we don't
true.
care.
Yep.
Just 60 seconds or left and no nudity.
I was just thinking nonstop topless.
Wait. When did the no nudity thing come into play?
Well, if they
I
said
remember.
that's more work for me, then I got to pixelate everything.
No, I'll take care of that.
Nonstop topless, by the way, taken from the opening of The Odd Couple.
That's right. I remember there was a sitcom, and I don't know which one it was, but the premise of the episode was that business was slow at this restaurant/bar. So the whole premise was, why don't we turn this into a topless bar or a topless restaurant? And then the final scene, and there's this big, they're hemming and hawing about it the whole night. And in the last scene, there's the sign that says, "We're topless tonight." And there's a bunch of men walking around with no shirts. If someone can tell me what sitcom that was, that would be amazing.
I got to tell you, I don't remember that premise at all.
I remember this one, and I don't think it was a like a real sitcom, not like one that came on for 6 episodes and disappeared. But
I don't know why, but I'm thinking Laverne and Shirley.
Could have been. It may have been.
Be wrong.
Laverne and Shirley, and maybe it was the big ragu who was topless.
Well,
The big ragu, Carmine Ragusa.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'd go from rags to riches.
Yeah.
And thought he was the, so, and then it turned out it was a topless bar for men, and he had to be the bartender with no top on. So, I mean, that was somewhat similar, but.
Maybe that was it. I don't know. I just remember they had a sign that said, "We're topless tonight." All right. Let's see if there's any more big comments we've got to get to. Let's see.
The big ragu.
All right. So let's give our final roundup here for the big story that we were talking about today, Al.
Okay. Well, we're signing off, or we're just talking about this at the end of the.
No, we're wrapping this up and wrapping up the show. Yes.
Okay. All right. So first of all, hasta la vista, las Tangenistas, and I just want to bring up something that is very important. November 11th is Veterans Day.
No. Give me the final word on the
this
story we were covering.
I think that the defense is doing a good job with regards to the arguments being put forth on this case. I think the jury is going to have a hard time convicting on this one.
Jonesy,
My synopsis.
your final word. What's your takeaway
My final word on the situation there.
on the story, the trial, the drama?
It's convoluted. It's twisted. It's salacious. It's got all the makings of a made-for-TV movie. Why you would take the head and where it went and how nobody ever saw a video or anything of her carrying a bowling ball, a bag. I'll never know, but perhaps she, I've seen a lot of mob movies and they seem to like to bury people in the sand back there in the day.
Here's my takeaway. It's Clark County, Nevada. Yes, it's Vegas, but I think they will hold her accountable. But I think they're going to struggle. for the reasons that Al pointed out. But I think at the end of the day, based upon the surveillance video of her being there at the time, and based upon the alleged confession that was made, I think it's problematic. But I think the jury will be back there and say, I don't think she did this alone. And I think they'll discuss that, but that is, to me, that's not necessarily a defense. I don't think it's one or the other. I think the jury may come to the conclusion that she had some help. Oh, go ahead, Al. You want to?
Well, I was going to say that it is going to be a very, very, very tough call on this jury. And I just wanted to answer one thing. Valerie, I believe it's Schaefer, had asked if I'm Englewood Cliffs. But I mean, that defense did work in the North trial, which is not as exciting as this one. But pointing the finger on the Plan B aspect with the person that has a motive and has a situation and an invested interest in it is a really good defense. And I think that that's going to perplex this jury and it's going to give them some doubts.
Thank you, April Diaz. Have a great day today. Thank you, April Diaz. We appreciate everything you say. We all know she's a great fan, and we know the kind words she has. We always love to hear from you. Thank you, April Diaz.
Big thank you to April Diaz. I actually have like a 4-minute version of the Thank You, April Diaz song. I do. Jonesy, there was something. April had a question earlier. Are we ever going to reveal what Jonesy was for Halloween?
Oh,
sort of a cliffhanger for a lot of the folks.
Well, when I dressed for Halloween, the episode, I never really had any particular cowboy in mind. I was just simply a cowboy.
You were just generic cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And, there were some good guesses. Like I was using my Tipperella, which I actually used this in a film, music video. So somebody guessed Clint Eastwood. So that, I kind of understood that. If I was going for Clint Eastwood, I have this beautiful, what do they call those old style, like Western,
poncho?
A poncho. I have a beautiful poncho I bought in Mexico in a trailer. They sell things out of trailers there.
I thought the best guess was Buford T. Justice. I like that guy.
All right, we are done for today. Big thank you to the Mod Squad doing an amazing job. Thank you for the super chats. Great conversation in the chat as well. Please like, please share, spread the word, spread the love. And don't forget to mark your calendars for the Christmas Extravaganza 25, which is coming up in just a little over a month. All right, Al, where can folks find you?
Okay, well, folks, Monday, Vinny wasn't on with me last Monday, but Vinny is back this Monday, I think. Okay, for closing arguments on Court TV, 8 to 9 Monday night. And as I have started to say before, November 11th is Veterans Day. So thank a veteran, hug a veteran. And remember that day symbolizes the end of World War I. It was the 11th month on the 11th day at the 11th hour. The war to end all wars, which tragically it was not, ended. And it's a chance to think about the persons that served. It's not Memorial Day. Okay, it's Veterans Day. So thank anyone that has served this country. They deserve it.
Now, just clarification. So it's not Memorial Day, but it's Veterans Day. So if they're actively serving, do we still honor them, or is it people who have served and have retired from it?
You would always treasure anyone who is putting their life on the line for this country. Okay, so it's as simple as.
Oh, I understand that, but is the holiday like Memorial Day is for those who lost their lives?
For the
Veterans Day is for those who served and have retired. Technically,
Veterans Day means you served the country. That's correct, but it would also include people who are serving. Fort Lee High School puts flags up on their front lawn, and from all the residents that are serving or have served in the military. It's a wonderful, wonderful display. Just hundreds and hundreds of American flags on the front lawn of that high school. And it's a beautiful high school to begin with, and to see all those flags, it's just, it's very, very just touching. So I would say, thank a veteran, thank an actively serving soldier, sailor, and just remember, this country, we're not free if we can't keep the country free, and these are the people that are keeping us free.
Absolutely.
Remember that. So hasta la vista, las Tangenistas. See you Monday night.
And speaking of holidays, Samir, my love, Vinny, every day is a holiday with you. Hands yellow, heart red face, fuchsia flower shape.
Isn't that remarkable how you always seem to find that whenever
it just popped up.
Whenever I'm talking, that
That's
comes
what she
into that.
said.
I also will be at the Army Temple game tomorrow up at West Point, which is always a great opportunity to.
Wait, Temple plays on Saturdays? Isn't that the Sabbath?
Yes, it is, but it's Pennsylvania. It's Philadelphia, so that doesn't really count.
Okay.
But it will be up at West Point, and I will be at the dreadful Jets versus the Cleveland Browns game. The team that has won one game playing a team that has won 2 games on Sunday.
Yeah. Jonesy, where can folks find the radio legend?
Well, tomorrow night from 6 to 10 p.m., I will be DJing live. It is my birthday bash. It's at the Ghost Hawk Brewing in Clifton, New Jersey, across from Rutt's Hut. Full details at glennjones.net.
Will you be live streaming?
I will not. Some people come there and they think they're coming for a live radio show. This is a different thing. I DJ. I just simply DJ at these events and meet and greet, so to speak.
Oh, all right. What time is that again? 6 to 10 tomorrow night?
6 to 10, you're home on time for the honeymooners.
No, it's your birthday?
It was my birthday on Tuesday. I'm billing it as my birthday to lure more people into the event.
And that they bring gifts.
That too. No gifts required.
Smart.
All right. And you can watch me every night from 8 to 10 on Court TV. Your front row seat to
I got to empty my pockets of all the pills.
Trial. They keep driving by.
I just threw all my pills on the floor.
Quick, don't look. Don't look. Whatever you do, don't look. 8 to 10, 2 hours live true crime. The only guy doing it on television, night in and night out, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And you can catch me on Sundays on Court TV as we do a little dinner and a binge, I'm calling it. We'll be watching Bull this Sunday. I think we start at 6, from 6 to 10 on Court TV. It's a Bull, what we call it, a Bull binge fest. And me and Michael Ayala will be hanging out with you, watching all those episodes on Sunday on your front row seat to justice. That's it, guys. We are out of time. Thank you all so much. Say goodnight, Jonesy.
Good night, Jonesy.
Somebody say